Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about one of the most commonly used and important types in all of Java, which is strings. You have already seen strings throughout this series. Every time we printed something like hello world inside double quotes or displayed a message, that was a string. But today we are going to go much deeper, understanding exactly what a string is, how to create one, and some of the most useful methods the string class gives us. So, a string is used to store a sequence of characters. Basically, any text you want to work with in your program. Now, here is something really important that you must understand. A string is not a primitive data type. String is not a primitive data type. Remember our primitive data types from video 6, which were byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. Can you remember them? String is not on that list, right? Because a string is actually a class and non and a non-primitive data type. So string is a class and a non-primitive data type. So it is part of Java's built-in java.lang package, which means it is automatically available in every Java program without any import. And because a string is a class, every string value is actually an object. Internally, a string is simply a sequence of char values stored together. So the string Java is essentially the characters like this. Let me write it, something like J, A, V, and A. Right? Java. Stored in a sequence. Now let's look at the two ways to create a string in Java. Let me write the first one first. Way 1, which is called direct assignment. This is the most common and most recommended way. You simply put your text inside double quotes and assign it to a string variable. When you create a string this way, Java stores it in a special memory area called the string pool inside the heap. If you create another string with the same value, Java is smart enough to reuse the existing one from the pool instead of creating a new object. Let's go for the way number 2, which is called using the new operator. Let me write an example for both. For the first one, we can write the data type string name assignment operator inside the double quote. I write tick power and semicolon. Inside way number 2, as I said, string name 1 assignment operator keyword new string parenthesis semicolon. Inside parenthesis we can write our value, which is tick power, right? This creates a new string object in the heap outside the string pool, even if an identical string already exists in the pool. This creates a completely separate new object. Both ways work, but direct assignment is the preferred and more commonly used approach in Java. Now let me introduce you to an interesting concept, which is called hashcode. Hashcode. So every object created in the heap has a unique number assigned to it. Interesting, right? And that number is called a hashcode. So every object created in the heap has a unique number assigned to it, and that number is called a hashcode. Think of it like a fingerprint. Every person has a unique fingerprint that identifies them. Similarly, every object in Java has a unique hash code that identifies it in memory. This is actually a great way to understand the difference between the two ways of creating strings. Let's look at an example first. So, a string, I named the name of the variable str1 inside double quote with the first way power and semicolon. Again, with the first method, I create my second variable name with the same value, assign the same value and semicolon. Then I go for the way number 2, stir 3 and keyword new, string as a class, parenthesis, semicolon, and inside it I write the value of my variable, which is tick power. To run or print the outcome, let me use this out. Inside the first one, I write system.identity hashcode. For the first one, I go stir1, and I do the same for the two other ones. I just change the name of the variables, stir2 and stir3. Let me run the program. Yay! Look at the three numbers that we have here. You will notice that str1 or str1 and str2, str2 have the same hash code because they both point to the same string object in the string pool, right? With approach number 1. But str3 has a different hash code because using new created a completely separate object in the heap, even though the value is the same. This perfectly illustrates the difference between the two ways of creating strings. Now let's talk about the plus operator when used with strings. Okay? When we use numbers, plus symbol performs addition, right? But when we use with strings, plus symbol performs concatenation, which simply means joining two strings together. Let's have an example. String, the data type is string, variable first name is first name tick. Let's go for the second variable, string last name power, and then let's create the third variable name full name. It means first name value, I just copy it to avoid any mistake, plus last name would give me the full name, right? Let's see if it works. So please print for me full name. Let me run the program. Yeah, we have tick power. Notice there is no space between tick and power because we did not add 1. Let's fix that. How? Here I just put double quote plus another plus symbol. Between double quote I put a space. Now let me run the program. Yeah, this time it works. Now let's look at some of the most useful methods that the string class gives us. Remember, string is a class, so it comes packed with built-in methods that make working with ticks much easier. Let's go for method 1. Method number 1, which is length. This one returns the number of characters in the string. Let's have an example. String str equal tick power semicolon. Let's use this method, str.length. Automatically it will appear on your screen. You just can click on it or press enter button. So 9, because tick power has 9 characters. Now let's go for method number 2, which is char at int index. Don't worry, we're gonna have an example. This one returns at a specific index. For example, we again have this variable. Okay, I want to print the first character, which is in index 0, which is the first letter, right? Can you remember that in Java we start from 0? So char at, okay, as I said, it will be appear on your screen and you can just press enter. Okay, 0, let me do it for another index as well. For example, index number 4. Let's see which letter is located in index number 4 and 0. Yeah, the outcome is T and P. Let's go for method number 3. Method number 3 is to uppercase and to lower case. This method simply converts the string to all uppercase or all lowercase. For example, the same variable, I wanted to convert it to uppercase. And also I want to, in the second time, convert it to lower case. Let me just run the program. Yeah, the first one is all the letters in uppercase and the second one all the letters in lowercase. And method number 4 is trim. This method removes any extra spaces from the beginning and end of a string. So the same. Okay, let me just put a space here and a space here. Now let me run. Let me first write this out. Please trim it. Let me run the program. Yeah, look at the last one. We don't have any space at the beginning or at the end, but in the two other methods, we do have. And method number 5, or the last one which we cover in this video, is contain. This method checks if a string contains a specific sequence of characters, returns true or false. For example, for the same, or let's write another variable st equals to tick power Java tutorial semicolon. So I write st dot contains. So I write, please see how many times if the Java is inside my sequence or not. Oh, it shows false. Sorry, I think here the method which we choose is a wrong one. Contains. Yeah. Now let me write Java. Let me run the program. Yeah, true. Why true? Because Java is included in this text. Now let's do the same for another word. I want to see if in this syntax, in this text, Python is also included. Contains. I write, for example, Python. Something like search, but false. It shows that this keyword is not included in this sentence or phrase. And that is the strings in Java. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe the channel so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.